Legislation a few years ago that legalized the dubious practice of ballot harvesting in California, paving the way for Democrats to find hundreds of thousands of votes after Election Day and legally flip long-held conservative seats. According to this report, very few people noticed when Governor Jerry Brown signed the changes in AB 1921 into law in 2016, but the party had a plan and they put it into action with devastating effect in the midterms of 2018. As a result of this dubious new law introduced by Governor Jerry Brown, California lost 7 of its 14 Republican House seats this election cycle. What is ballot harvesting? Ballot harvesting is illegal in most of the United States and the rest of the world, of course. In Texas, New York, and Pennsylvania, they arrest people for ballot harvesting. California, on the other hand, has a law that actually permits it. Anyone can turn in ballots now, no questions asked, no chain of custody required. California's AB 1921 law allows voters to give any third party, not just a relative or someone living in the same household, as was previously the law, to collect and turn in anyone else's completed ballot. Called ballot harvesting, critics say the practice is ripe for fraud. Consider Lulu, who was recorded trying to harvest what she thought was a Democratic voter's ballot in Representative Knight's district. Orange County, traditionally a conservative enclave in Southern California, turned all blue for the first time in living memory after Democrats found hundreds of thousands of votes after Election Day. Republicans such as Mimi Walters, Dana Rohrabacher, and Young Kim were all ahead in the election that night, only to lose their races after late ballots were counted. The amount of mail-in ballots counted in Orange County was unprecedented. A whopping 250,000 ballots were produced in Orange County as a result of Jerry Brown's new ballot harvesting law. The case of Korean-American GOP candidate Young Kim was one of the most egregious examples. On election night, Kim held an 8,000-vote lead over her Democratic opponent, Gil Cisneros, and even attended freshman orientation in Washington, D.C., before watching her lead and her victory slowly disappear in the subsequent weeks as Democrats kept handing in found votes. Even the San Francisco Chronicle reported in Orange County alone, where every House seat went Democratic, the number of Election Day vote-by-mail drop-offs was unprecedented, over 50,000. Fred Whitaker, chairman of the county Republican Party, said in a note to supporters, "This is a direct result of ballot harvesting allowed under California law for the first time. That directly caused the switch from being ahead on election night to losing 2 weeks later." Ladies and gentlemen, the voting system in California is so bad that a Democrat in California's 21st district was down by 6.4% on election night and ended up winning 3 weeks later. The Democrats don't even hide their blatant voter fraud anymore. They just pass laws to make election fixing legal, and the Republican Party just sits back and allows it. Even Paul Ryan, the rhino of all rhinos, questioned the suspicious results in California. If conservatives don't fight back, the left will implement ballot harvesting laws across the country and steal every election going forward.
For the first time in more than 70 years, Republicans will hold just 7 of California's 53 House seats following this month's midterm elections. Chief Correspondent Jonathan Hunt takes a look at what some say led to the big blue wave here in California.
A blue tsunami. Democrats certainly rode a large wave in California. Usually reliably Republican bastions, Orange County, for instance, went from mostly red to completely blue. In 2016, Republicans held 14 of California's 53 congressional districts. Now they hold just 7 and face a bleak future, according to former Democratic political consultant Bob Shrum.
Republicans are now the third party in the state, after Democrats and declined to state or independents.
So how did it happen? For one of the down congressmen, Dana Rohrabacher, the answer is simple.
This election was bought and paid for by outside billionaires.
He points the finger at anti-Trump campaigner Tom Steyer and potential Democratic presidential contender Michael Bloomberg, who put more than $4 million into the fight to beat Rohrabacher.
I've never seen a better example of money corrupting our political system.
Other Republican Party officials are concerned about so-called ballot harvesting. Party workers going door to door and offering to deliver voters mail-in ballots on their behalf.
It's illegal in most every state of the union. In Texas and in New York State and Pennsylvania, they arrest people and put them in jail for ballot harvesting. In California, they made it legal 2 years ago.
The real reason the blue wave washed over so many Republicans, Trump argues, is the party's move to the right.
If you had a Schwarzenegger Republican Party that was fiscally conservative and socially moderate or liberal, it would be very competitive in this state.
For now, California Republicans will cling to the hope that all politics is cyclical and the pendulum will swing back. But already emboldened Democrats are looking ahead to 2020, eyeing the handful of still held Republican seats and dreaming of another blue wave.